I think from one side, from the weight side, very similar to MotoE. I mean, I don't talk in
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, but I don't talk in pounds, so I talk in kilos, so forgive me. But MotoE was around 265 kilos. And I believe bagger regulation is around about the 280. So we're talking 15 kilos, 30 something pounds difference.
Yeah,
so
620 for people that need
Speak American.
pounds. Yeah, 620 for the bagger.
yeah, they're speaking feet and inches. But yeah, so from a weight point of view, I've already ridden a bike that's that heavy. Great thing about the bagger, it actually has a proper wheelbase for that weight. Thing that MotoE designed a bike that was super short and that heavy, and it was just nervous. I didn't get to ride the Ducati. I only rode the Energica, but that thing was short. But the wheelbase of the Harley-Davidson is way more friendly. I would say, surprisingly as well, even though it's a steel chassis, quite flexible. I think it's just from the chassis design, the way that it's a cradle design frame. It's actually quite flexible and actually gets a lot of movement, going with it. I think that's why everyone sees the wiggles on the racetracks. One from the tire, it's still designed to be a superbike tire that has been given to the baggers, but also the way that the chassis flexes. And I think the biggest thing for me to get my head around in the USA is the patches. The seams, the patches on the racetrack.
So it's not even the bike.
Not really. Like the bike was kind of very user-friendly, talked to me straight away, tires, within that 4-6 day period, of riding, I knew exactly, what was happening. Definitely thrown in the deep end in terms of turning up at Daytona. I was...
Yeah, but I mean, dude, your first test at podium, I mean, dude, you were quick.
Yeah,
I mean, by
day 4,
you were pretty locked in.
Yeah.
By then and feeling pretty good. Weird setup, but
yeah,
you tried absolutely almost everything.
Yeah, and I think that was the biggest thing. Is wasn't necessarily difficult to adapt. Jumping on it, as I said, it's very user friendly. Boys have done a great job over the last 5 years developing something that talks to you. Because that was kind of something that I was worried about. Is looking at geometry numbers and seeing how long the wheelbase was, how far the front is away because of the design of having to use a standard road glide as your geometry. There was bits that made me nervous, but straight away got on the bike. That was fine. It was just getting my head around these patches and how the grip would change during the weekend. The patches would be super slick on a Friday, and slowly would get more grippy as the weekend went on. But then some patches would get oily and greasy in the afternoon and not in the morning. And I'm just trying to tell my head, don't look. But
my favorite is Mid-Ohio, dude. My favorite.
How was it the first time out there, Mid-Ohio?
Mid-Ohio, terrible. He comes past me 3 times. So, like, my opening 10 laps, I can't drag knee. Like, I don't even know. I'm convinced. Luckily, he told me because he'd been out at 8 o'clock in the morning on the Super Hooligan. He's like, it's slick. And I'm like, but how slick are we talking? He's like no knee drag slick.
Like Argentina slick.
Yeah.
That's what I...
Way worse than Argentina. Promise. Like double worse than Argentina. Couldn't drag knee. And this guy comes past me, rolls off, lets me go by, and then decides to roll back past me again. And in the end, I'm like waving him away. I'm like, just leave me alone. Like I'm on
clearly bullying you out there.
Yeah. And then Jake Lewis all season long as well, guaranteed he'd roll out behind me, FP1, and just blitz past me for the opening 4 laps and just look behind me, just like, there you go. That's how you need to ride early on. And there's me just like trying to figure out where the tracks go, etc. But it got better as the season went on. But yeah, I wasn't prepared for the lack of traction, at certain American tracks. And I think that shows in terms of results. The one place that there was amazing grip was Road America, and I was in the hunt. You know, there was no patches there. You know, everything.
For now.
Yeah, exactly. But the track was like, you know, a lot more like home,
Yeah.
and I was able to adapt to that, you know, fairly quickly. So I'm glad I signed a 2-year contract. I knew first season was going to be difficult. You know, just learning everything that there is to learn inside of baggers and racing over here in the US. So now that I've kind of got my homework season out of the way, you know, be ready for year 2.